long-term care insurance, which again, like life insurance, like annuities, is still very misunderstood. I mean, the last time I checked, long-term care insurance was somewhere between a 5 and 7% penetration rate in this country. The entire country needs long-term care insurance, yet 5 to 7% of people have it, which means 95 to 93% don't have it. And there's so many misconceptions. A, it's expensive. No, it's not. B, it's nursing home coverage. It's anti-nursing home coverage. Long-term care insurance keeps you home where you live the longest, and this way you can get your services at home. And I always say this is a sad thing, but if one thing was proven to us during COVID, where we had 1 million deaths in this country, the seniors that were in homes, in facilities, in communities, in Florida, true statistic, more than 75% of them passed away because they locked the doors. I'm not complaining about, assisted living facilities. They thought they were doing the right thing. We don't want to let germs in from the outside. COVID is very serious. And what they did was across the country, but especially here in Florida where, the average age of a person is, about 107, something like that. What they did really by locking those doors was they created a petri dish. I mean, they really did. And I have friends that watched their parents and grandparents pass away during COVID through a glass window because they couldn't come in and be with them. But the seniors, the friends that I have with parents who were living at home, who had long-term care insurance, they're still with us today. So it's sad that COVID delivered that message, but I hope the country is paying a little more attention to what happened to people that were in the home rather than people that were at their own home.
So here's what I'll say. There's no place like home. Okay. Going to a hospital or spending time in is not meant to get you well. That's so anybody that's had any family member that's had to have an extended stay in a medical facility knows that the longer they stay, the more likely is that they're going to get sicker. Now, if you're going in for a surgical procedure or something that's on demand, you want to get it done. You want to know you've recovered and get the heck out of there because wellness happens at home. As people get older, Michael, we shared the story. In my case, you brought up my dad, and I'll use that as a point of reference. We weren't able to get him a long-term care policy. He gained weight rapidly. He had some heart-related issues. There were some things that kept him out of the eligible market for a long-term care policy. It wasn't about affordability because he was young enough. The whole thing about affordability is really about getting to a long-term care policy early enough while you're healthy enough, and the premiums are very affordable. So what happened? Thank goodness I was doing okay. I'm certainly not wealthy by any imagination, nor was I when my father found he was in the place where he needed help. But I personally became his long-term care policy. Mm-hmm. I had to have dad move in with me. When he was falling down in the middle of the night, I'd have to get out of my bed and pick him up because we did not have access to that additional help. But to the specifics about long-term care, I agree with you. Every person in their 40s in this country should absolutely start looking at their options for long-term care. Mm-hmm. The benefits of long-term care, to your point, allow you to deal with whatever you have to deal with in the comfort of your home, with the assistance that's available to you. Getting it early enough when you're healthy enough and life is good, it's very affordable. We're all going to get there, and I'm sure all of our listeners know people that got to the point where they needed help going to the restroom, or maybe needed help doing something as simple as bathing or dressing. Those are called activities of daily living. And when those things start to fall down, long-term care is built to help that person, so it takes the burden off of us. When I speak to people, Michael, about long-term care, I often will ask them and say, depending on the nature of the dialogue, if you love your loved ones, love yourself enough to get a long-term care policy so the burden's not on them, so they can keep being loving to you while you're getting the care and support you need from what that policy offers you.